Hello and welcome. My name is Peace Mitchell and I'm co-founder of Osmompreneur, the Women's Business School, and Women Changing the World Press. I'd like to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land that I live and work on, the Mamu people of North Queensland. And I pay my respects to traditional owners and elders, past, present and emerging, right across Australia and the Torres Strait. It's day 4 of the Confidence and Courage Launch Festival. And here's our new book, Courage and Confidence. This book's been written by 24 incredible authors who are all Australian businesswomen, sharing their wisdom, expertise, and advice. All proceeds from the sale of this book go to providing scholarships for deserving women to attend the Women's Business School. The Women's Business School has 2 programs, Ignite, which is an incubator program for business owners who are pre-launch or in their early stages of business to help them get all the foundations of business in place so that they can launch successfully. This is a 6-month program. And our other program is Accelerate, a 6-month accelerator program for established businesses and those who are ready to scale up, expand internationally, and do big things. Today, I'm delighted to introduce you to our next presenter, Annette Densham of the Audacious agency. Please join me in welcoming Annette for her presentation.
Annette Densham here from the Audacious agency. We are Australia's leading business awards specialist. Over the past 10 years, we have written hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of business awards, from local Chamber of Commerce business awards all the way through international business awards that are very respected and reputable on the world business stage. We've worked with women in business, men in business, entrepreneurs, innovators, startups through to scale-ups. There is a business award out there for just about any business. And through this session, what I'm going to share with you is how to get that respect, that recognition, and build your reputation through business awards. Now, the key really is to have awards as a part of your overall marketing strategy. And as we go through this session, I'm going to show you how that you can do that and how you can get your business ready. So when an award comes up, it's not a mad, crazy scramble, which so many of us tend to do. We leave it to the last minute, we don't do the best job, and then we're disappointed when we don't make the finals or we don't win. So I want to talk to you about respect first and foremost. And I think the most important thing when you're entering a business award is to have respect for your own achievements. I'm a big believer that success is an inside job. It starts between here and here. And it's really hard to put yourself up for recognition when you don't believe that you deserve it. And one of the ways that we help people really get a handle on how far they've come with their business, even if it's something that they've just started, even if it's something that they've got an idea about, is that there is an award out there to help you build that respect and that credibility within your marketplace. Awards are really all about positioning yourself as a market leader. Let's face it, there's just so much noise out there. We're inundated with thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of information every day. We're bombarded. I am constantly amazed at the number of messages that I get on all different channels and sometimes struggle to keep up. So it's not surprised when people say, I didn't even know that award existed. Is that if you're focused on building your business, your head down, bum up, working in your business, and sometimes it's difficult to find the time to work on your business. So the first thing, there's going to be a little bit of homework through this session, is that I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen. You can do this as you listen to me as things come to your mind. And I want you to start brain dumping some of the incredible achievements, or even just some of the things that you know that you've accomplished over the last year. It may not be awards worthy, but it is really useful and handy for you to build that respect for what you've done by putting it down on a piece of paper and looking at it and seeing it, getting out of your head, because As entrepreneurs and business people, there is so much going on every single day. We've got to think about staff, contractors, BAS, taxes, looking after clients, customer service, the day-to-day things, the admin, the marketing, the Facebook, the Instagram, the LinkedIn, the TikTok, all of those things are bombarding us every day. And we often forget to stop and celebrate our wins. And this is a really important process of getting ready to enter awards, is already acknowledging and embracing that you've done something quite incredible throughout the year, which makes your business worthy of awards. So once you've done that, the next step is to do a little bit of planning. And this is to find the right awards for your business. Now, the best place for you to start is to look at what your objectives and your goals are for the next 12 months. Perhaps it's really important for you to build on your customer service excellence so that entering an award will shine the light on the processes and the systems that you've developed to give your customers a really excellent experience with working with you. Perhaps it is to get to the point where you want to sell your business, or you want to hire more people to come and work for you, or you want to attract more customers, or you're really just damn tired of being the best kept secret. So to start the awards process and finding the right award for you, write down what it is that you want to achieve this year. And that will help direct you to finding the right award. So how do you find these awards? Well, hint, hint, you can always come to the Audacious agency. We create awards calendars for our clients. But if you're not ready for that stage yet, Google search engine is your friend. So let's just say you work in the accounting industry. Your best search parameters are Australian awards, accounting, and that will bring up all the awards that are associated with accounting. It might be the Australian Accounting Awards, Women in Finance Awards, and there are many, many others. If you're looking at an international award, there's the International Stevie Award, which has a business professional services category. There's the Australian Small Business Champion Awards, which has a finance and accounting category. So once you've done that, you've searched by the parameters of, it may be business, it may be innovation, it may be customer service, it may be sales, it may be product, it may be best new service, it may be particular industry, it may be women in digital, it may be tech, it may be hairdressing, it may be product, it may be business, it may be entrepreneurial. You just need to use those search terms when you're letting your fingers do the walking. Set up a spreadsheet so that as you find these, you can put them into a spreadsheet with a link, the dates, when they open, when they close, and a little bit of information about what they're looking. If they've got guidelines, download them so that you can have a read at a later date of just exactly what they require from you to put in a submission. And then the next search that you need to do is, once you've identified the awards that you want to enter. Now, if you're new to awards, you may just want to pick one and start with one for the year, and make sure that it aligns with your objectives and your goals. But there's some really good ones for business, particularly small business and micro business, where you can look at the Stevie Awards. They've got the International Business Awards, the Women in Business Awards, the Asia Pacific Awards, the Sales and the Customer Service Awards. And they have categories that start with startup. So if you're under 2 to 3 years old, all the way through to well-established, and all the way through to big business, up to 11,000 employees, or it's just yourself. There's also categories within industry-specific awards. So the Australian Accounting Awards has something like, Australian Accounting Consultant of the Year, Rising Star of the Year, Partner of the Year, Boutique Agency of the Year, Boutique Firm of the Year. So you can then drill down with each of these awards on a category that not just will resonate with your target audience, because, awards are really all about PR. It's about building that perception that you are really good at what you do. And as I said before, with the clutter that we have available with all of the information bombarding us, standing out is really important. Now, for some people, awards may not float their boat. They may go, yeah, whatever, it's meaningless to me. But for most people, they connect with businesses in the back of the head with where the limbic brain lives. It's that emotion that it conjures up and the trust that it builds when people see that you've been recognised with an industry award or with a business award. It gives them security knowing that you're really good at what you do. Now, a really important aspect of finding the right award is also making sure that they're credible awards, that they have a good reputation in the industry. So what you want to be looking for is awards that have got a judging process, something that there is a system that the judges go through to judge your entry. You also want to look at whether you have to pay for an award or not. So many awards have entry fees, particularly international awards. There are a lot of Australian awards that are free to enter. Now, just because an entry fee is attached to the award doesn't mean that it's not a credible award to enter. If you marry it up with the judging process, with how long the award has been around, who are the people behind it, who are some of the winners, go and check them out. Is it, you can only get the award if you pay for coverage in their magazine? They're some of the egocentric ones that you have to, in my opinion, avoid. You want to look for ones that have got really good standing within the business community. And then moving into the categories, you can choose to enter one or you can choose to enter many. A lot of them have got very similar questions. So we do suggest that in that spreadsheet that you've created with the list of the awards is to start saving questions from each one that you enter and also save your responses, because if you decide that you're going to enter multiple awards, then you can just use that document. We call it an awards black box. You can use that document to be able to go and pull any answers out, update them as required, and it can save yourself a whole stack of time. So another way to really determine what is a good awards is to have a look into the judges' insights. Do they give feedback to you? So this is one of the reasons I love the Stevie Awards, is that they give you feedback on your entry, so you know where you need to improve, and you know where you need to maybe flesh out your answers a little bit more. A lot of websites will have the winners from the previous year, so you can go and have a look at those. Sometimes they put up their entry, so you can go and have a look at what a winning entry really looks like. Don't be afraid to contact the awards program and ask any questions. Most of them will have a methodology attached on their website, so you can see what the process is that they go through to find the winners. They also have frequently asked questions as well. So make use of those resources. And a lot of awards programs will also have articles on what the judges are looking for, what makes a really good entry. So tap into those as well. They're really handy tools for you to be using. So then once you've found your list of awards for the year, create a timeline. And the reason why this is just so important is that, I said it before, we leave stuff to the last minute, then it's a mad rush, it's all stressful, we're sweating, we're worried, we can't get all the answers and all the information that we need. So what we do is that we set up in Google Calendars or in whatever calendar it is that you are using, the open date and the closing date and a reminder 2 weeks out, so that you know as you're getting closer and you're not leaving things to the last minute. It makes such a big difference to the process, because if you're writing the award yourself, it's really important to have someone else proofread it and have a review of what you've written, because they're looking at it with fresh eyes. And it can be really helpful for them to go, I actually didn't understand what you were saying there, or you started explaining this process and you didn't go deep enough. So this timeline will give you stacks of time for you to be able to go through that process to make sure that your award is kick-ass and the best that it can be. So another part of the planning process is what I call awards fodder. So this is the information that you can be using to answer questions. So in that spreadsheet that you've created, where you've got the links to the awards, you've got the deadlines and the opening dates that you need, you've got the guidelines and any little bits of information from the awards provider that will help make your award just amazing, is the supporting information that adds value to the questions that you've answered in the awards. Now, most awards give you the option to upload supporting documentation, and quite often they will say it's optional. We believe that's absolutely necessary because many awards, unless you're entering the Telstra Best in Business Awards or the Australian Small Business Champion Awards, sits around 1,000 to 2,000 words for a submission. The Australian Osmompreneur Award is around the 1,200 to 1,500 words. The Stevie Awards, 1,000. The My Business Awards, around 2,000. And most other industry awards are around that 2,000 word mark. So that could consist of anywhere from 4 to 6 questions of 300 to 400 words each to answer those questions. Now, if you have been keeping track of your accomplishments, of the wins that you've had with your clients and with your customers, your growth in sales, all of that really important business information, you might find that it's just not enough room for you to give all of the answers that you really want to showcase what it is that you've done. Now, it's really important to stick to word limits in awards. Many of them now are online processes, so you actually can't go past the word limit. It won't allow you to do that. So your best advice is to write it in Google Docs or Word or Pages or whatever it is, the platform that you use to write into documents, and then cut and paste it into the actual awards platform. Now, there's 2 reasons that you should do this. One, and I'm speaking from experience here, is that if the awards portal collapses or you get a power outage or your internet drops out and you haven't saved, you've not lost your whole entry, and it really sucks when that happens to you. And 2, in the awards document, you can add that into your folder of entries that you've completed, and you can transfer that into your awards black box so that when you do have another award that you want to enter, it's really easy to go and find the information that you've created for that award. Because let's face it, most awards can take anywhere from, 2 to 3 hours up to 10 to 20 hours to complete. And you don't want to have to go back and keep rewriting the same thing over and over and over again. So make sure you keep and save that information. And in this support document, you're able to elaborate a little bit more. Some will allow you to upload up to 20 pages, some maybe only 5 pages. So it's really good to have a bit of a structure when it comes to what your support document looks like. And if you're wanting to know how to stand out with the judges, don't waffle in your support document. Make it really succinct, make it really easy for them to read. Don't upload, 5 or 6 or 7 different attachments because they're constantly having to go and upload. Make it really easy for them and put them in one document. So in that document for awards fodder, we've got this really handy checklist, is that you want to start looking at putting and saving into there things like your branding, your logo, your fonts, your colors, your style guide. Because if you get someone like us to do it for you, then we make sure that we brand everything to your business so it looks like your business. If you're doing it, then it's really just kind of handy to have that stuff all in one folder. If you've been focusing on your PR, then you want to start keeping all your award wins. If you've been in a print publication, take a photo of it, save it into a Google Drive, screenshots and links, logos. So if you've been on, the Today Show or The Project or in Mamma Mia or news.com.au, make sure you keep those logos as well, because it's a really handy thing to brag about. It's also really handy to put on your website so that when people go there, you've got as seen on, and you've got all of these logos with links to the media that you've secured for your business. It goes to building your credibility with your customers and your clients. Other PR wins, things if you've been on podcasts, links to those particular episodes, and also screenshots of the artwork. So if it's in Spotify or on Apple iTunes or whatever the platform it is that they've used to promote your podcast, make sure you keep that too in your awards folder. Our growth stats are also incredibly important. And, sometimes a big long list of, we grew by this much and this percentage, we grew by this much and this much percentage is very impressive on the page, but even more impressive if you can make a visual graphic of it where you've got a bar graph or a pie chart or something that the judges can look at really quickly where they can see what your growth is. And this is where a lot of people kind of like go, oh, I'm only new in business, or I haven't really had a lot of financial growth this year because I was sick, or I poured it all back into my marketing, or I put a new staff member on. This is your opportunity to explain that, because you want to show your turnover, even if it is you started 4 months ago with $0 and you've grown to $50,000 and you're entering a startup category. Don't focus too much on what the dollar value is. Focus on what the growth of your business is. And that can look like client growth. That can look like engagement on your social media. So provide those stats in written form, but also in that visual form, like tools like Canva is really, really helpful for you to do that. Have images of your products and your service or your clients or your customers or logos of people that you work with, because that also showcases the diversity of the people that use your business, buy your product or your service. And also, if you have a product-based business, have something that showcases what it is that you sell. The judges may not necessarily go to your website. So if you include that in your support documentation, it just makes it really easy for them to see what you do with a bit of a description if it has the capacity to take that length of information in your support document. Another really important thing to have for awards fodder is client testimonials and reviews. Start grabbing screenshots of your Google reviews, your Facebook reviews, or whatever platform it is that you use to gather that information. If you haven't started doing that, start now. Like reach out to people that have bought your stuff and ask them if they'd be happy to leave a review. Give them some guidelines as to what you would like them to say, why they bought from you, what they got out of working with you, where their business is now, why your product was just amazing and they absolutely love it. If they can do some videos for you, that's also incredibly powerful. And then take screenshots of those so that you can keep it in your awards fodder folder and it's really easy and accessible for you to use. The next thing that you should really look at, particularly if you're a service-based business, is case studies. At least 2 showcasing your success with that client. Now, you can do this a number of ways. You can jump on and interview your client and then transcribe that, write a little bit of a story and showcase the work that you did with them. Again, you want to ask them why they started working with you, what they got out of working with you, and then show some of the accomplishments that you've achieved in that relationship that you've been building with them. Keep those updated as you build your business. You also want to have some information about you. Surprise! They want to know about you. They want to know about your business story. This is why it's really important for every business, whether you're a product-based business or you are a service-based business, you want to have that hero story. Why did you start your business? What was the thing that triggered it? What is it that you really wanted to get out of the business or product service that you created and the people that you work for? What are some of the hurdles that you've had? What are some of the achievements that you've excelled at? And have that to showcase your business background. If you're a speaker or your business involves doing webinars or networking gigs, make sure you've got a list of those, perhaps with reviews from the person that you did the event for, or screenshots of any of the webinars that you've created. You may want to include your speaker's kit or photos of you in action and reviews. You also want to have some updated photos of you, headshots of your team, of your product, of your workplace, of you in action, so that, at the beginning of the document that you can really share who you are, so the judges can start building a relationship with you. While this is a business award, people do business with people. Judges are looking for stories. Whilst it's really important to showcase the nitty gritty and the data and the stats and the growth and the figures, it's also really important to show the heart behind the business. If you've won any awards, make sure you showcase those logos and the years that you entered. If you do any community work, a lot of awards now ask you what your give back to the community is. Also take note of sustainability. So how do you give back to the environment? How do you ensure that your business is reducing its carbon footprint? If you've published anything, books, papers, white papers, anything which also may showcase your thought leadership and what it is that you've accomplished throughout the course of your business. That's a really handy checklist to have. You can certainly contact me. There's some contact details at the end, which I'm going to give to you, and we can send this award checklist to you. So one of the things that we do with all of our clients is set up a Google Drive so we can take all that information that I just shared with you that you need to start collating and have it in one folder. So you can see here, this is pretty much what ours looks like. We have an achievements list, which we send to people where we get them to just brain dump all of the things that they've accomplished, big or small. We ask them not to edit, because sometimes what you don't think is a big deal, the judges certainly do. So you've got to include all of that. Save your branding information. This is where your case studies go, your images, your headshots, your screenshots, your social media data, your media wins, your podcasts, any previous awards, reviews and testimonials, stats and data, where you keep those things like your financial growth, the graphs that you create to showcase what it is that you've achieved over the course of the financial year or the calendar year. So also part of this planning is downloading the guidelines. I touched on those just before. It's really, really important to read what the rules are. I can't tell you how many awards that I have judged and I've thought, did you actually read the question? Did you read the rules? Did you really pay attention to what we're looking for? This is so important because sometimes judges are doing your award based on a sliding scale. It might be 1 to 10, it might be 1 out of 5, and they'll take points off if they can see that you've not read the instructions and you've not read the questions. So I always say to people, download it. If you need to print it out, print it out. If you've got, a touch screen or an iPad, download it, get your pen out and go through and highlight the keywords so that every time you're answering a question, you're going back to those keywords to make sure that you've nailed it. So the reputation part of getting awards ready is putting your best foot forward. So I've given you some ideas on how to find awards, what categories you can pick, how to start preparing for doing your entry. So part of putting your best foot forward is to showcase your business. So this is where you go back and you review what you've done. Read your blogs, read your website, make sure it's all up to date. Make sure your bio's up to date. Make sure your bios on all your social media platforms are up to date. If you've got Google My Business, which most of us do have, if we've got a website, make sure that's all up to date. Upload it with pictures and images and wins and anything that you can use to showcase what it is that you do and how good you are at doing that. So another way to showcase your business is to get help. So as I said, you can ring or email or contact pretty much any reputable business awards outlet, portal, program, whatever it is that you want to call, and ask questions. You can ask them to talk through the questions with you. You can reach out to people who write awards like Lauren and I and ask them to either talk you through the process or to do the process for you. It's nothing wrong with reaching out and asking people for help, because it helps make your award application that much better. Then it's only going to benefit you, and in the long run benefit your customers and your clients. So another way to showcase your business is to quantify and qualify. So after you've gone through and you've read all the questions, you understand what the judges are looking for, you've read the guidelines, you've asked for some help and some input, then as you go through, make sure you read it with a really fine eye of making overarching statements or board claims that is just, last year we grew really fast. All of our clients loved us. So that sounds pretty wishy-washy. And I've read a lot of award responses that just give those responses. So what you want to do is, if you're saying we grew really fast in 2021, is talk about how you grew fast, what it is that you did. What were some of the strategies that you put in place? Did you focus on your customer service? Did you focus on your PR and your marketing? Did you put another staff member on? Did you really focus on making sure that you were really responsive with people when they were reaching out to your business? Did you put a new bookkeeper on? Did you work with a new accountant? What were the things that you did to back up those claims that you're making? So don't just make a claim without backing it up. And this is where your support document is also really handy for you to be able to quantify and qualify. That's the graphs that I talk about, showcasing your financial growth, your social media stats, showcasing your engagement and your followers. Anytime that you say, I did this, make sure that you can back it up with some stats and figures. So part of showcasing your business is to make sure that whatever you put in is as perfect as possible. Now, nothing's ever perfect. We all make mistakes, but as much as you can, try to make sure that your awards entry is error-free, grammatically correct, tells a story, uses punctuation, doesn't leave sentences half hanging, doesn't have a mix of fonts and styles. So it's really important to check and then check again. This is where the timeline is really important, because if you leave it to the last minute, quite often people are rushing to put their entry in with like minutes to spare, and you go back and you read it and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I spelt you wrong. Because quite often when we're reading words that we write all the time, we don't see that we've made mistakes. So this is where spell check, I know that seems pretty bloody obvious, but spell check is really important, just to do a basic spell check. If you use something like Grammarly or Outright, it also can help pick up structural problems with your writing, or get another business colleague to read it, get a friend to read it, just get someone else to have a look at the document before you submit it, so there is as few errors as possible in it. So the final part of getting awards ready is having a plan for what you do after you've won or you've made the finals. And it frustrates me no end when people enter awards, they win or they make the finals, and they don't tell anyone. It's like, you went through all of that trouble and all of that expense to keep it a secret. And we do live in a world, particularly in Australia, where we do suffer from tall poppy syndrome. But really, the people who need to see and to know that you exist and know that you're really good at what you do are not going to judge you because you've won an award. It's actually going to benefit you in the long run. And I know it's really easy to say, just ignore those negative Nellies. They're not in your business. They're not running your business. They're not going to buy from their business. They do not matter. Leveraging your awards process right from the start all the way through to a win only adds to your PR. And it's really incredibly important. I cannot emphasize that enough, that you have a plan for how you're going to leverage the process. But wait, I'm going to tell you how to do that. So part of leveraging it is getting PR and getting media wins. There's so many opportunities out there with local papers, particularly if you live in a regional area, online publications, digital publications, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn are all really good ways to leverage what you've done. Now, a lot of people go, oh, I feel really uncomfortable sharing that I've won this. So a really good way to get around that is to tell a bit of a story about the process. Talk about maybe about how reluctant you were to enter. What are some of the things that you learned through the process of entering the award? What was the backstory to your business and why this is such a big deal? You don't have to go and just say, oh, yay, I won an award. I will say that even if you do that, people who follow you, who are your cheerleaders, will be there cheering you. You know, and that's one of the really cool things about leveraging an award, is that you get to bring other people in to celebrate with you, is that people want to revel in your successes. So give them the opportunity to do that. So reach out to the media, reach out to podcasts, reach out to, you know, people that you admire, pop it on social media. Just make sure you tell people, you know, get onto covers of magazines, you know, get onto stages, because when you start sharing, you get noticed and people start asking you to do things. Like this is Lisa Cox, one of our amazing clients. She's recently been named Queensland winner of the Excellence in Leadership Awards. And she now gets asked to be on covers of magazines, and the inquiries that come because she shares what she's accomplished in a really beautiful, humorous, sometimes self-deprecating, but always insightful way. I encourage you to go and look at her Instagram to see how she does that. Now, she's a brilliant storyteller. You may not feel comfortable to do that. That's where reaching out to someone who works into PR, or you know, practicing a few times to tell that story, because I think that you'll be really surprised at the feedback that you get from people who are cheering you on. Oh, look, there's more. It's just incredible just how excited your local community will be when you win. So there is a process to getting recognition. You know, having that folder where you're keeping all those wins is really good. Having your updated bio and your hero story makes it the process so much easier, because you've already done the work. You don't have to go and create it again. Now we've got a really cool award-winning guidebook, which has got almost every step that you can to entering the awards, how to write your acceptance speech, leveraging your award, tips on how to find stories in your business, and also our really cool marketing planner, which will help you with marketing. Now this book is $10. I've got a link at the end, which you can go purchase and download, and it'll actually take you through the whole process. It's a really handy guidebook. But there is another really cool thing that I've got to share with you that's absolutely free. And this is our award-winning free training. So this is just webinars and talks that Lauren and I have done over the years. It's not a professional recording. It's just something like this where we've sat and we've talked about what it is that we do and the insights that we've learned through writing hundreds and hundreds of business awards. So it's like how to enter business awards, how to choose a category, what does a successful award entry look like, how to write your acceptance speech, how do you leverage your awards, how do you stand out and shine, and then what to do next. And the really cool thing is this is totally free, is that you can go and subscribe to it and work your way through each one. And it's like the perfect template to guide you through this awards process, particularly if you're new to it. So what are the next steps? This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where you are going to start looking for an award that you can enter in 2022, 2023 and beyond. And it starts with finding the award. Use Google, go and search high and low for awards that suit your business and where your business is going. Reach out to Lauren and I. We can help you create an awards calendar. Get organised, set up Google Drive so you're not hunting for things when you do enter. Not only is this really good for awards, it's also really good if you're entering grants, that you're looking for funding, if you're going to the bank and asking for money, or you're hiring a PR person, or you're looking at revigorating and revitalising your marketing. Start collating your achievements. So write them down. Don't keep them in your head. I gave you a task at the beginning of this, is to grab a piece of paper and to start brain dumping all of the things that you have done. A really good way to do this is to go back through your calendar or your diary and have a look at the meetings that you've had, the people that you've met, the new clients that you've brought on. You know, we go back through our active campaign and those tools that we use, ClickUp, and have a look at the people that we've worked with so that we can go and pull out the case studies and we can pull out the things that we've achieved for those people. And you can do that too by setting up your brag folder. This is the time that you need to reach out to get reviews and references. There are a lot of awards that will ask for 2 to 3 references. They may ring them. They may be asked for a written one. So now's the time to reach out to those past customers, current customers, colleagues, suppliers, people that you've met through your business journey, and prop it into that brag folder. What we do is every award that we come across is we cut and paste the questions into a Word document and we save it into that brag folder so that the questions are there, easily accessed, so that we can start, as you know, particularly because you're planning and you've allowed yourself heaps of time, is that things will come to you and you go, oh, I can actually put that into, give us some information on the background to your business, or what is your process for ensuring that you keep your customers, or what is it that you've done to give back to your community. And then last and most importantly is to get entering, is don't let that voice inside your head, we call it the itty bitty shitty committee, stop you from entering. Don't let imposter syndrome stop you from entering. Tell it to be quiet and do it anyway. It may feel uncomfortable the first few times, but I've worked with people who it's like, oh, I really don't want to do this, who are now awards savvy and absolutely love going through the process. And don't be disappointed if you don't win or you don't make the finals. Use every award that you do as an opportunity to learn more about your business, to reflect on the things that you've done, to reflect on where it is that you're heading, to set new goals, and to look at how much you've grown, and to stop and smell the roses, because you work damn hard at everything that you do. You deserve to stand out and you deserve to win. Now, if there's anything that we can do to help you with any awards, just go to the Audacious agency and go to contact and make an appointment with either Lauren or I. If you'd like to have a 20-minute chat about what awards you could potentially enter, we can give you a little insight. It's $20 for that 20 minutes. If you just go to the audaciousAgency.as.me/awards consult, and you can book that in with me, and I'll jump on Zoom and you'll give me a bit of background about your business, and then I'll probably rattle off, 5 to 10 awards that you can go and research that will be just perfect for you to enter. So don't be modest. You deserve to shine. You deserve to be well known, well paid and wanted. And it just starts with you. It starts with you taking that first step and entering awards. Thank you so much. I'm Annette Densham from the Audacious Agency. And remember, there's no room in business for modesty.
Thank you so much, Annette. That was an incredible presentation. As you know, awards and celebrating women are very close to my heart. So I really appreciated that presentation. And the Osmompreneur Awards will be opening for nominations in April this year. The wait list is actually open at the moment. So just do a Google search for Osmompreneur Awards and you can join the wait list as well. Okay, well, that concludes our session on why business awards are great for business. We are celebrating the launch of our book, Courage and Confidence, and I have included the links to buy your copy in the comments as well. And of course, royalties from the sale of this book go to providing scholarships for women to attend the Women's Business School. We have 2 programs at the Women's Business School, Ignite, which is specially designed for women who are pre-launch or in the early stages of business. And we also have Accelerate, which is for established founders who are ready to scale up, expand internationally, build their team, or introduce new products to their business, or just need some guidance and support to help them reach their goals. So applications for scholarship are open right now, but not for much longer. So if you are interested in being part of the 2022 Women's Business School cohorts, then make sure you apply. And again, the link for that is in the comments below as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to this session. We do have another session coming up very soon. So stay around, grab a cuppa, come back and join us. We will see you then. Thanks everyone. And thank you so much, Annette. Bye.